Hello, everybody. This is Dr. David Jockers, and today our topic is top 12 natural remedies for nasal polyps. And so we're going to really dive into this detail of nasal polyps, which are like sac-like growths that take place in our nasal sinuses, and really the challenges, the health challenges that can occur from them. And so if you don't know me or if you're new to my videos, my name is Dr. David Jockers. I am a doctor of natural medicine, and I live in the Kennesaw, which is just outside of Atlanta, Georgia area. I have a clinic called Exodus Health Center where I really help set people free from all kinds of different chronic disease states and really help them optimize their overall function and health. And this is my beautiful wife, Angel, my little boys, David and Joshua. And so as we look at what a nasal polyp is, again, it's a sac-like growth of inflamed tissue. So inflammation is the underlying marker here, lining the sinuses that can block the drainage of mucus, resulting in infections or chronic sinus infections and overall sinusitis, where you've got this kind of inflammation marker taking place in the sinus cavities. And so you can see here, when we look at it, some of the major symptoms are that you become a mouth breather because you can't breathe, inhale and exhale out of your nose. You have nasal obstruction. It can change your voice and your tone. Also, that congestion in there can also cause issues with hearing, can cause issues with dizziness as well. You very often have a constant runny nose, and you have trouble smelling things. You don't pick up on smell very well. Now, major risk factors are things like asthma, which is also a chronic inflammatory condition. If you're getting a lot of sinus infections, that obviously can be a symptom of nasal polyps, but also it can lead to nasal polyps because you have more inflammation in those areas. Also, if you have conditions like cystic fibrosis, hay fever, if you have an allergy to aspirin, that can actually lead to this as well. And what kind of treatments they have out there, we're going to go into that as well. But mostly, drugs that can shrink them, like corticosteroids, and surgery to get in there and basically pull them out. So these are common things that are done. When we look in detail, if we were to kind of try to get in real close, normally we have got little sacs in our nostrils in the sinus cavity, but when they get inflamed, they get enlarged. And now you can see here, particularly the obstructive area there on the far right. I mean, there's barely any room for air to flow in and out. So these people cannot breathe out of their nose. This can lead to things like snoring, obviously. Sleep apnea as well is common with this. And so again, major symptoms: stuffed or blocked nose, sneezing, postnasal drip. So you got to clear your throat all the time. Difficulty with a sense of smell and snoring. Other things you can notice would be pain in the upper region of your teeth, loss of taste, so you're not having as good a taste, and also vocal changes too. And so again, conventional treatment, nasal corticosteroid sprays, which again, these work. They definitely will reduce the inflammation. You'll notice improvements. Unfortunately, though, corticosteroids in general have a lot of side effects, like increasing your blood sugar and impairing normal immune function. So again, they suppress the immune system, elevate cortisol, so they can cause a lot of problems long term. Antihistamines, this is commonly used and offers relief as well, but can cause problems with the immune system because histamine is a key immune modulator, an immune chemical. Now, surgical removal, this is very common. It takes roughly 60 minutes, so it's a minor surgery with 2 to 3 week recovery period. Unfortunately, as you can see here, the polyps actually regrow in about 50% of those who have had them removed, really because they didn't get to the root cause, which is what's causing the inflammation to begin with. So 12 strategies to heal nasal polyps. Well, really got to start with lifestyle. So healing diet, really good high quality hydration, using things like apple cider vinegar, which is very anti-inflammatory, proteolytic enzymes, which are really good at breaking down old decaying cells, as well as scar tissue and swelling in our body. Proteolytic enzymes, I'll go over my favorite brand for that. Probiotics to get the right microbiome, which is very important not only for our gut, but also for our sinus cavities. You just have things like garlic and onions, which are really, really good. They are rich in quercetin and sulfur compounds, that are great antihistamines. So they can be really good. Diffusing essential oils, different types of essential oils can be really helpful with reducing inflammation in the nasal passages. Really focusing on deep nose breathing, especially, obviously if you're in the obstructive area of nasal polyps, probably not going to be able to do that. But in the early stages, this can really help prevent that. Omega-3 fatty acids, very powerful anti-inflammatory. Zinc and magnesium, very common deficiencies in our society and also very common with the development of nasal polyps. Also doing things like nasal irrigation, steam inhalation, or a humidifier can really help. The humidifier obviously helps provide moisture, which can be beneficial here with these kind of cases. So healing diet, we got to start with good nutrition. We got to reduce the sugar and grains. We know that those are the most inflammatory things. When our blood sugar goes up, our body produces a lot of advanced glycolytic enzymes, these AGEs, which damage all the different tissues and cause massive inflammation in our body, including our sinus cavities. We got to get rid of bad fat, so high omega-6 fats like corn oil, soybean, safflower, cottonseed, canola oil, things like that, these processed vegetable oils and hydrogenated oils. Add in more good fat, avocados, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, high-quality pasture-raised animal fats. What else is a good one there? Macadamia nuts. So we want to get a lot of these really olives. I didn't even mention olives and olive oil. Really, really good stuff. We want to get those really healthy fats in. We want to change the meat that we eat. We want to get rid of conventional raised animal products. Got to get rid of those things. We want to really focus on grass-fed, organic, pasture-raised animal products. Super important we make these steps in order to reduce inflammation in our body. And a lot of people have food sensitivities, and most people are aware of food allergies, where like if you eat a peanut, your lip swells up, or you get tachycardia, your heart starts racing, or you have anaphylactic shock where you just start swelling everywhere. And of course, if you have something like that, where to avoid those foods because it's like life and death. However, food sensitivities, you can see here, 45% of the population suffer from a food sensitivity, which is a delayed reaction. It can take up to 72 hours after eating the food to actually notice the reaction. Whereas, as you can see, 2% of adults, 6 to 8% of children have actual allergies where you have that immediate reaction. And so you might eat eggs, which is a healthy food. However, you may get more inflammation over the next 72 hours. And of course, this can cause a lot of different issues, but without a doubt can cause more inflammation in your nasal passages. So you want to look out for common food sensitivities that may be taking place. And you can obviously do some really good drinks. I'm a huge fan of a lot of hydration to reduce inflammation. And you can also do these apple cider vinegar drinks to get some of the apple cider vinegar, which has enzymes, acetic acid, really good for helping modulate the gut microbiome, stimulating digestive juice production, and reducing whole body inflammation. So we got the cinnamon apple here with some cinnamon flavored stevia. We have got the cranberry lemon with a little bit of cranberry juice and lemon stevia. The grape apple with the grape flavored stevia. So drinking these on a regular basis can help reduce inflammation and improve nasal cavity function. Proteolytic enzymes, also really, really good. These go in, you want to take these away from meals. Most people are familiar with digestive enzymes that you take with meals to help support digestion. Proteolytic enzymes you take away from meals, they get into your system and they start to break down scar tissue and old decaying matter. And so this is key for reducing inflammation throughout the body, scar tissue formation, swelling, different things like that. These proteolytic enzymes can really get in and start to break down this swelling and inflamed tissue in our sinuses and help basically reduce the polyp. And so very powerful. I also use this if I like sprain my ankle or get some sort of a muscle ligament kind of joint injury of some type. This can go in and really help the body reduce inflammation, breaks down things like C-reactive protein and other inflammatory molecules in the body. So you always have to take this, again, away from meals, or else it'll act like a digestive enzyme. But proteoenzymes really, really powerful for this. Essential oils, huge fan of doing essential oils. So of course, many different ways you could do essential oils, but obviously for nasal sinuses, nasal passages, and nasal polyps, diffusing and inhaling them is the most powerful. And so you can put it in water. You get a simple diffuser and diffuse them out, and it's really awesome. Okay, and then you want to inhale them as well, where you can basically just kind of do some aromatherapy where you take the bottle and just kind of put it right under your nose and take a deep breath, or you can put a drop in your hands, cover your mouth and nose, and really breathe in. This is good. You can also, of course, apply it to your furniture, and that can be really helpful. So some really good ones for this: frankincense is really good for reducing inflammation. So frankincense. Another good one would be rosemary. Rosemary essential oil, really good for this. And the citrus essential oils like an orange essential oil or lemon can be really helpful. Peppermint is also really good. That methanol component's really good for opening up the airways. So these would be some good ones that I would look into as far as using essential oils. And then we want to really focus on deep breathing. So we want to make sure we're taking long, deep breaths. The average individual takes 10 to 12 breaths per 60 seconds, right, per minute. So it's like 5 to 6 second breaths. That's inhalation and exhalation. Really what we want is somewhere around 10 to 12 breaths. We want to slow it down, taking something like a 4 to 5 second inhalation, 4 to 5 second, maybe up to 6 second exhalation. And that's going to help draw our diaphragm down, help get more oxygen into our lungs, which is going to reduce stress hormones in our body and really improve our body's ability to adapt to stress. And of course, really trying to focus in on nose breathing is key, not just doing this with your mouth, but really trying to enhance the amount of airflow going through your nose. Not only does that reduce stress hormones, but the actual airflow helps modulate the microbiome inside of your sinuses and helps reduce inflammation in your sinuses. So doing that high quality nose breathing is important. You can also do something like a neti pot, where basically you fill up a little pot with water and you lean over a sink and tilt your head sideways, roughly about like a 45-degree angle. Place the neti pot spout, the upper nostril, kind of just let it get in there and work. And of course, you're going to end up blowing it out. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first when you first start doing this, but really gets in there and starts to get bacteria and mucus and pus and stuff like that could be in there, and helps move that and get it out. So really good ideas. Of course, always an important idea to do this with some sort of a high quality filtered water. You wouldn't want to use a chlorinated water or toxic water for this. So filtered water is definitely best for the neti pot. Now, common deficiencies that I'll see: zinc is one of the most common with issues going on with the sinuses and the nose in general. And one of the ways people know they're deficient in zinc, and this is not for everybody, but for some people, they don't have a real good sense of taste or smell. This can be common. And so zinc, just super important for modulating the immune system, keeping inflammation under control, reducing our risk of cancer, a lot of different factors with this. And so I'll typically have people do zinc supplementation, 20 to 40 milligrams of a high quality zinc glycinate. I have one called Zinc Charge that I typically will put people on that have nasal polyps. Now, omega-3 fatty acids, I'm also a huge fan of doing high doses of omega-3s. It's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories. Really works on different genetic pathways that are associated with amplifying inflammation throughout the body. And so I really like Pro Omega CRP. This is the product I use, where it's got more or less 1.5 grams of high quality EPA and DHA per serving. It also has curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, really powerful for downregulating inflammation, and things like N-acetylcysteine and glutathione. So again, really powerful stuff for keeping inflammation under control and having a powerful anti-inflammatory impact on the body. So this is good for the whole body, but particularly when I'm working with people with chronic inflammation in different areas like nasal polyps, definitely want to do high quality omega-3s, things like curcumin and glutathione boosting support, like what's in this supplement here. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's training. And if you want to get more high quality information, then go ahead and check out my website. I've got a few free gifts for you: my Digestion Energy Quick Start Guide and my 10 fat burning dessert recipes. You guys are going to love these recipes. The coconut shortbread cookies, absolutely amazing. Chocolate avocado truffles, Got to try those out. You'll love the Digestion Energy Quick Start Guide. Really quick strategies to immediately double your energy and improve your digestion, within a week. And so check that out. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and look forward to seeing you guys in a future training. And if you have questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section, because I always go through every week, try to address as many of those questions as possible. God bless everybody, and we'll see you soon.